Today, we're exploring Śhālā Twam Community Hub, a remarkable community-focused project located in Thripunithura, Kochi, Kerala, India. Designed by Bhoomija Creations and completed in 2024. At first glance, Śhālā Twam appears to be a modest architectural intervention. However, beneath its simplicity lies a powerful architectural question. Can a small private plot become a meaningful public and cultural resource for an entire neighborhood? The name Śhālā Twam roughly translates to a space for you. This idea forms the foundation of the entire project. Rather than being conceived as a conventional building with predefined functions, the project is designed as a framework for community interaction, cultural exchange, livelihood, and everyday social life. Located within the rapidly urbanizing metropolitan region of Kochi, the project responds directly to the challenges facing contemporary Kerala. As urban density increases, open public spaces are becoming increasingly scarce. Instead of accepting this condition, the architects explored how architecture can create opportunities for collective use within privately owned land. One of the most significant aspects of the project is its relationship with the existing site ecology. The site originally contained 2 mature mango trees. In many urban developments, existing vegetation is often removed to maximize the building footprint. Here, the design process took the opposite approach. The trees became the primary generators of the architectural concept. One tree is integrated directly into the built structure, while the larger tree forms the focal point of the project's open-air theatre. This decision is not merely symbolic. From a technical perspective, preserving mature trees contributes significantly to environmental performance. The tree canopies provide shade, reduce solar heat gain, improve thermal comfort, and create a cooler microclimate around the building. In Kerala's hot and humid tropical climate, such passive environmental strategies are far more effective than relying solely on mechanical cooling systems. The spatial organization of the project reflects a similarly thoughtful approach. The program includes a flexible yoga hall, an organic clothing production unit operated by local women, a boutique display space, support rooms that can function as changing areas or temporary accommodation, and an open-air performance venue. Rather than separating these functions into isolated zones, the architects have woven them together through a continuous sequence of semi-open spaces, verandas, and shaded circulation paths. As users move through the project, they experience a gradual transition between indoors and outdoors. Boundaries are intentionally blurred. Spaces overlap, activities interact, and the architecture encourages spontaneous encounters between different users. This spatial fluidity is particularly relevant within the cultural context of Kerala. Traditional Kerala architecture has long embraced verandas, courtyards, and transitional spaces as essential components of everyday life. Śhālā Twam reinterprets these regional architectural principles in a contemporary manner, creating a building that feels rooted in its place while remaining modern in expression. At the center of the project lies its most important architectural element, the open-air theatre. Interestingly, the theatre is not designed as a monumental object. Instead, it is conceived as a carefully shaped void beneath the canopy of the mango tree. This distinction is critical. Many contemporary projects focus on creating iconic architectural forms. Here, the architects prioritize the creation of meaningful public space. The theatre becomes a democratic platform where storytelling sessions, music performances, workshops, yoga gatherings, children's activities, and community events can take place. Architecturally, the most valuable space in the project is not a building, but an intentionally preserved and activated piece of landscape. Materially, the project embraces simplicity and climatic responsiveness. Exposed brick walls, clay roof tiles, permeable surfaces, shaded verandas, and naturally ventilated interiors form the core of the material palette. These choices achieve several objectives simultaneously. They reduce embodied energy by relying on locally familiar materials. They support passive cooling strategies. They require relatively low maintenance. And perhaps most importantly, they establish a visual language that feels authentic to Kerala, rather than imported from a global architectural trend. The aesthetic quality of the project emerges from restraint rather than spectacle. Instead of relying on expensive finishes or dramatic formal gestures, the architecture derives its character from proportion, texture, light, shadow, and its relationship with nature. As a result, the building feels calm, approachable, and timeless. However, no project is without limitations. One potential challenge lies in the region's intense monsoon climate. While the open and semi-open spaces perform exceptionally well during much of the year, periods of heavy rainfall may reduce the usability of certain outdoor areas, particularly the open-air theatre. Another consideration is the coexistence of multiple functions within a relatively compact site. Community events, yoga sessions, production activities, and public gatherings may occasionally create acoustic or operational conflicts. The success of such a flexible environment depends heavily on thoughtful management and scheduling. Additionally, the project's modest scale is both a strength and a limitation. While its intimate character fosters a strong sense of community, future growth in participation may eventually challenge the capacity of the available spaces. Despite these considerations, the project's achievements are substantial. Śhālā Twam demonstrates how architecture can extend beyond the creation of buildings and become a catalyst for social engagement, cultural continuity, and environmental stewardship. It challenges the conventional separation between private and public realms and proposes an alternative model of urban development, one where even a small plot of land can generate meaningful collective value. Ultimately, the project's greatest success is not found in its form, materials, or technical solutions alone. It lies in its ability to transform an ordinary urban site into a shared cultural landscape. By preserving ecology, supporting women-led livelihoods, responding intelligently to climate, and creating opportunities for community interaction, Śhālā Twam offers a compelling example of architecture as social infrastructure. In a time when cities around the world are becoming increasingly dense and disconnected, this project reminds us that good architecture is not only about constructing spaces, it is about creating relationships between people, place, culture, and nature. And that is what makes Śhālā Twam a truly meaningful architectural work.